getting hustled, keeping your head above water.
Making a way when you can. Temporary layoffs.
Easy credit ripoffs.
Good times.
This sounds like hanging in a toilet, but it is not hanging in a toilet. We'll figure that out later. It is good times indeed. Corey Johnson with you. Yeah, you right. Telling it like it is. 4 to 6 o'clock. Our only agenda is that, taking care of you out there. Old, young, conservative, liberal, black, white, gay, straight, fat, short, tall, skinny. We don't care. Bring it on. We take all folks. Jason, a.k.a. the Ragin' Cajun, a.k.a. the Man in Black, running the controls, fielding your phone calls, no screening. What's your name? Where you calling from? Jason doesn't want to talk to you. Wants to get you on the air. That's what he's supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be hey, I'm going to tell Corey this. He doesn't want to hear it. Great, tell him on the air. Got to go to another call. Got some buttons to push. Got to get some commercials ready for the next break. Got stuff to do. No screening process. We feel if you pick up the phone and feel compelled to call us up on the Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480, 766-9480. We figure there's something we said or that's in the news that you want to talk about, that you want to discuss. So no screening process needed. And we don't cut off callers when we disagree, especially when we disagree. Let you get your take. That's what I love about talk radio. I'm going to try to control this thing. Why would I do that? I control going to breaks. I'm the traffic cop for the show. That's about all the control I got. As far as a caller, agree, disagree. And then here's the beautiful part. It's talk radio, talk television. We're on YouTube. Everyone out there listening, watching, they're going to decide. Corey was right. The caller was right. Corey handled that like a jerk. The caller was righteous. Whatever. Everyone's going to figure it out. There's no hiding from the truth. So I let it all out there. We don't screen calls. We don't cut off folks we disagree with. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 504-766-9480. Hey, the 4 o'clock hour this afternoon brought to you by Katie's in Mid-City. Why aren't you at Katie's like right now on a Monday, winding down the day right? It is a neighborhood joint. There's no doubt about it. It's the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, but it's so much more than that. It's a bunch of New Orleans characters after their shift. Could be 1, 2, 3 o'clock, plopping down at the bar in between lunch and dinner while folks are still eating lunch or dinner, late lunch, early dinner. No, it's a mid-city mainstay that keeps going. Late morning, lunch, mid-afternoon, late afternoon, into the evening. Outdoor dining on a day like this. Are you kidding? Why aren't you at Katie's right now, as New Orleans as it gets? Big portions, too. Great for sharing. And like I said, a bunch of New Orleans characters at Katie's. Corner Iberville at Talamacus. In the heart of Mid-City. That's like in between Canal Street and Bienville. Carrollton Avenue and Doc Francis Parkway. That right in there, right in the middle. That's the heart of Mid-City. Katie's. 4 o'clock hour this afternoon brought to you by Katie's. Boy, we got a full slate for you this afternoon, too. Another Bourbon Street shooting about 2 a.m. Sunday. You know the old saying, hey, you're getting the ATM at 2 a.m., it's not a good thing. I guess the young pups are still out at 2 a.m. Sunday. I know I was back in the day. It's a rarity now. 200 block of Bourbon, roughly. You know, that first block off Canal Street, not very well lit. Usually some big, street legal three-wheelers, those street legal ones, that sort of glorified motorcycle on steroids type gimmick. They'll be cranking up music real loud in that block, just obnoxious. A shooting, 3 men, 2 women shot, all between the ages of 17 and 24. Bourbon Street, quite honestly, is and has been a waste of our time in New Orleans. My God, talk about waste this thing, this precious resource, but it's typical. It's like our coastline. It's like lack of education, infrastructure, high crime. Why wouldn't we let Bourbon Street just go down the toilet? It's always been the wrong street for New Orleans since I was a kid. I never understood it when I was a kid. I was like, why do we have to have this again? There are a bunch of ships coming in from ports from around the world, and the seamen are getting off the ships and hitting the quarter. That's why you have all these, bars that are themed different countries. Yeah, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, things change. Bourbon Street never did. It's a toilet. It really is. What's mind-blowing to me as a native New Orleanian, why am I the only person, period? Forget about media. No one in the media, no one with a microphone in front of them, a camera, writing. No one ever says a thing about Bourbon Street. It is a toilet. It is an embarrassment. It is a disgrace. There's a reason we locals don't go down there. There's a reason when tourists come down, friends, family from out of town, should I go down to Bourbon Street? You say, no, don't waste your time. You want to walk it 5:30 before it gets dark just to see the street? Great. Want to walk down it one night at 10, 11 at night? Great. Walk through there and get the hell out of Dodge. It's worthless. Worthless. It's strip joints. It's daiquiri shops, big ass beer. It's a toilet. It's cash business. It's $20 a head. It's a bunch of characters. No one's spending any real money. A lot of it cash. It's drugs and prostitution. It's worthless. We get no benefit from Bourbon Street. Nothing. Nothing. Corey, people come to world famous Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. They're doing it regardless. We could make it more of a magnet. Should be lit up bright. Should be a whole different demographic. And I'm talking economics, not $20 a head, but $100 a head, a few $100 a head. Connected in with Royal Street instead of Royal Street shutting down. Royal, Bourbon, there's a few streets connecting the two, lit up bright all night. Jazz clubs, cafes, something nice, something that locals would want to go down to, that tourists with money would want to go down to, not this toilet thing. It is worthless. Doesn't have to be that way. It's got to be that way, dude. It's got to be a place that I never want to go, that's got to suck, stink, and not generate any cash, just really problems for the city. It's got to be that way. It's always been that way, dude. Crazy. No, another Bourbon Street shooting Sunday, right off Canal Street. 3 men, 2 women, 17 to 24 years old, carrying a big ass beer and a daiquiri. I mean, just worthless. Got to reimagine Bourbon Street, hire some international firm and transform the street. Get rid of the daiquiri shops, the trinket shops, the strip joints. Fade it all out and reimagine the street as a magnet. I'm not talking Disneyland and attract families like it's Walt Disney World. But let's just not make it what it is. It's a toilet. I mean, how can anyone argue with that? 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. No one likes Bourbon Street. Boy, you get Thanksgiving weekend, Bayou Classic, Claiborne, MLK, Claiborne at Jackson, Felicity area. That's not good driving yesterday. Earhart in between, say, Doc Francis, like Blue Plate Lofts and Carrollton. Not good driving yesterday. Carrollton Avenue down by... what is that? I guess Washington, by the Costco, by the Exxon, by Xavier University. Not good driving yesterday. Out of control. A lot going on. The four-wheelers blow me away still. I mean, you don't have that in Jefferson Parish. You don't have that in St. Bernard. You don't have that in Plaquemine on the West Bank. Why is New Orleans just like, hey, man, wink, wink, it's against the law, but even full-blown adults, 30, 40, 50-year-old people driving around on four-wheelers, women, men, absolutely insane. It's not like kids. It's crazy. The four-wheeler craze in New Orleans has to stop. You're getting arrested, and your four-wheeler's getting confiscated. Willie, stay or Willie go? Willie Fritz.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience. Now with 4 area locations. Canal at Carrollton, on the North Shore in Slidell, in Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana, and now in Metairie. West Esplanade at Transcontinental. The Woodhouse Day Spa.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about fresh local fish like flounder, snapper, and speckled trout, fried, broiled, or grilled. Fury's restaurant in Metairie.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anyway. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spots. NolaAC.com, your cool spots.
Hey, Marigny, Bywater, Treme, French Quarter, CBD, Warehouse District, Garden District, Irish Channel. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground, where New Orleans is heard.
Yes, correctamundo. Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon in the city. Thanks for joining us. Corey Johnson with you. Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Bourbon Street is a toilet. We've been discussing it for years. I've never heard anyone else discuss it, much less any type of media outlet or personality ever. Let's reimagine Bourbon Street, make it where locals would want to go and draw more tourists in with higher dollar amounts. Not just the guy and girl walking up and down, carrying the big daiquiri, staying a few hours and leaving, and they spent $18.35 each. Just a waste of time, a waste of our time, Bourbon Street. No, get Royal Street. I mean, Royal Street puts cages over windows and doors and boo, powers down at 6 p.m. They don't want anybody. Hopefully no one bleeds on over from Bourbon Street instead of those streets working together, open late night, the galleries. I'm going to a gallery, then I'm going to a jazz club. I'm going to a cafe. I'm getting a little meal at 12:30 at night, listening to some music on well-lit up, bright Bourbon Street, enjoying it. Instead, it is just a nasty, worthless street. I'm not even exaggerating or embellishing. I mean, there's a reason we don't go down there. It's terrible. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Four-wheelers in the city, huh? I mean, I don't get it. Orleans Parish. I don't know how you stop four-wheelers in the city. You can't chase somebody. Hey, we bumped them. They flew off, and the guy got decapitated, but we stopped those four-wheelers. It's just such a catch-22, no pun intended, pun intended. How do you catch these folks? And then, I mean, look on my Twitter. At Corey Johnson on Twitter. I'm not even at the Popeyes. I'm driving by and pulling over by the Popeyes and shot some video because I was blown away. What are these two four-wheelers doing in the parking lot at Popeyes? I thought it was like Gator vehicles. I'm looking for the flatbed truck, and they were doing like some, cleaning up that big lot next door that's always unkept. Unkempt, huh? Anyway. I'm like, what are these people doing here? So it's just some dude sitting on one and the other one's empty. No one's there. This woman comes walking out with a couple of bags of Popeyes and gets on the other four-wheeler. You can watch the video. They pull out the parking lot. They get on Gentilly. I'm like, are they going to get on the I-610? And they didn't. They just kept beelining down Gentilly towards Dillard. But I was like, really? No license plate, not street legal, no helmets, just insane. Insane. Someone pulls out and hits them. They're suing the city for no stop sign or some gimmick, no stripes on the street. How do we just allow this blatant four-wheeler abuse? I mean, I'm telling you, adult men. I'm by Palmer Park, the old Palmer Park, Claiborne at Carrollton. There's a dude sitting on a four-wheeler. He's like my age. He's like 40 or 50 years old. No helmet, just riding his four-wheeler around the city. It's mind-blowing. And on Sunday, with a Thanksgiving, Super Sunday type atmosphere, Bayou Classic weekend, it's, hey, man, let's get the four-wheelers out. We know we're going to drive our cars around at 2 miles an hour and just drive around real slow and not care about anyone else that's in the city driving down that street at the time because it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's a Super Sunday type environment. It's Bayou Classic weekend, by golly. The laws for speed limit and things like that are just out the window. We're going to go 2 miles an hour. Going to stop and park for a while in the lane of traffic. No, and then it's, man, we're doing that. If that's the mentality, yes, four-wheeler city USA. Crazy. And it's accepted. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. until a policeman in Plaquemine gets run over by one, and it's the cop's fault. Jimmy's a good kid. He shouldn't be incarcerated for riding an illegal four-wheeler, fleeing police, running over a policeman. It's crazy. That's Plaquemine, where they don't tolerate that crap, or St. Bernard or Jefferson or any other parish in the state, any other county in the United States of America. Any metro area in America, they don't allow four-wheelers. I guess you could send me some video from like Detroit or Flint, East LA maybe, on a crazy afternoon, something nutty like that. In New Orleans, it's regular deal. This dude at Old Palmer Park wasn't worrying about a thing. He's ready to go up a one-way street the wrong way, cut across a lawn. I don't know how you stop that. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. You know these Highway 30A stickers you see on the back of the car? 30A, the little blue sticker. Those are rich people, some wealthy, or, at least upper middle class that, they do their summers in the Hamptons. They go to 30A over there in past Destin, Florida, and they proudly display that 30A little sticker on their vehicle. Down there, they have people just riding around in golf carts. Some are souped up that do like 30 miles an hour. Kids, grandma, there's no seatbelts. It's a golf cart. They're on regular roads. It is inevitable. I'm not hoping for it. I'll tell you a story. The West Bank, the old Manhattan exit. I was like, there's a van with a bunch of kids in the right lane, not moving. And in the left lane, 2 lanes over, someone's doing 70 miles an hour. It is inevitable there's going to be a fiery crash with a family getting burned alive. Unless they do something. Big flyover ramp would have been the right thing. They did a little cheaper thing, but it seems to have worked, that Peters Road exit past Manhattan. So anyone exiting at Manhattan that was really going to Peters Road, they can bypass it. It took a lot of the traffic away. Seems to have worked, eliminated that. So they fixed the problem. I'm not hoping a van of a mom gets blown up and hurt or killed on the West Bank Expressway at the Manhattan exit. But if they wouldn't have solved the problem, it was inevitable. I hope and pray 30A continues to, have harmony and tranquility and no golf cart accident. It is inevitable. The family is going to be killed. Grandma's going to get crushed, decapitated in some dopey little golf cart that goes 30, hitting a car that's doing 30. And you're going to have no more golf carts on 30A in Destin, past Destin. Watch, it's inevitable because it's a bad idea and it's getting out of control. Golf carts that do like 20, 30 miles an hour and you're riding on streets. I don't know about you. I mean, folks that ride in motorcycles, they're hyper aware because they're like, I'm not in a car. I'm not I don't have this shell around me protecting me. So I'm an experienced motorcycle rider. I'm going to be hyper aware of the idiots, people that aren't aware that might just be unconscious around me. I don't see how a golf cart is any different at all. And it's the opposite mentality. I'm in a golf cart vacation. I'm not aware of anything. So that's just inevitable. And there's a reason four-wheelers aren't allowed in metro areas. I mean, no blinkers, no taillights, no license plates, no helmet. It's crazy. There should just be a law. Four-wheelers aren't allowed in New Orleans. Anyone caught riding a four-wheeler will be immediately arrested. Their four-wheeler impounded and not repossessed, but taken, seized, and auctioned off. You want your four-wheeler back? Auctions in 90 days. You can bid on it like everybody else. Or sell them off if the city wants. Sell them off. We got a bunch of four-wheelers. Sell them off. Whatever. You caught riding a four-wheeler in New Orleans. You're immediately arrested. You're going to jail, booked and going to jail, and your four-wheeler's seized, taken. 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. I'm half joking, half serious. The older you are, the longer time in jail. You're 48 and you're riding the four-wheeler around New Orleans, really? You're a 48-year-old man. That's your 40-year-old wife? Go check out that video at Corey Johnson on my Twitter. It's insane. It's not believable. It's just so New Orleans. Driving the four-wheeler on the street. Please don't care. Willie stay or Willie go? Willie Fritz. Willie stay or Willie go? 18th ranked, 10-2. The Tulane Green Waiver, 10-2. They're hosting the American Athletic Conference Championship game at Yulman. The title game this Saturday. It's amazing. First ever championship game in Tulane football history. Now, Willie Fritz is putting Tulane on a map in a place that Tulane hasn't been in 40, 50, 60, 70 years. I mean, the 98 season. Then you might have to go back to like the 40s. How many 10-plus win seasons has Tulane had in their life? I bet one hand, you probably have a digit or two left over counting them. It ain't many, 3 or 4, I bet. It's not many. Rouse's Markets phone lines 504-766-9480. He owes Tulane nothing. We have to thank Willie Fritz. If he leaves, thank you, Coach. You know, that there's nothing to be mad about. Do I want Willie Fritz to stay? You're damn right I want him to stay. The guy's a winner. But Power 5, Georgia Tech, Atlanta's calling. We'll see.
Tommy's Lock and Alarms is now hiring service and installation technicians. Great benefits, great pay, take-home vehicle. Apply today. Tommy'sLockandAlarms.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSAgency.com.
Kanye West was seen shopping at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google.
Okay, I think Kanye was talking about something else entirely. Super Discount Store on Paris Road in Chalmette.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets, a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Enjoy outdoor dining on the streetcar line, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, the finest in Middle Eastern cuisine, Carrollton at Jeanette, Lebanon's Cafe.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Don't forget you can catch the Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on television every weekday afternoon, 4 to 5:30 on Cox Channel 4 TV and Spectrum Channel 333 television.
It's true. I started out as a talk radio show host. That's my bread and butter. That's what I do, talk radio. But then we dropped a television camera about 12, 15 years ago into the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. And the rest is history. On radio, on television. Yeah, we're live on radio, simulcasting on TV. From 4 to 6 weekdays on the radio. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. 93.9 FM. You can also check us out on New Orleans' own 107.9 FM. Cox Channel 4 television for the first 90 minutes of the 2-hour radio program. 4 to 6 on the radio, 4 to 5:30 on TV. 90 minutes of fun. Cox Channel 4, Your View, Louisiana, all over the state. You charter TV subscribers, that's Spectrum. Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30, all over the state. CoreyTalks.com live streaming. Plus, the website has all the TV, radio information, a link to our YouTube channel. Click to subscribe to that. Send the link to a friend. Got that going a few months ago, trying to build that up. You can check out the program every afternoon live on YouTube. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground on YouTube. Click to subscribe. Doesn't cost a thing. Bourbon Street, reimagining the toilet. It's long overdue, right? Area code 504. Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. That's how you can participate in the program. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Four-wheelers in New Orleans. You're caught riding a four-wheeler, you're immediately arrested. No questions asked. You better have a bloody body on the way to the hospital. That better be the only thing, you know? You're caught riding a four-wheeler in Orleans Parish, you're immediately arrested. Your four-wheeler's impounded and seized, and that's it, right? I mean, there's no other way around it. No four-wheelers on the streets of New Orleans. It's insane. Street legal vehicles only. It's mind-blowing. Yesterday, you have, Thanksgiving extended weekend, Bayou Classic, maybe a little Super Sunday type attitude. The four-wheelers were out by the, I don't want to say hundreds, but I saw dozens yesterday. And I was only in some parts of the city. Clayman's by MLK, nightmarish driving through there. Get out of here, Just like traffic, just beyond like slow and second line, just like, hey, you should not go in. It was like just slow motion, man. Don't go in this direction. And then Carrollton Avenue was insane. Earhart by Xavier on Washington, insane. Just this sort of mentality of like taking over. Don't worry about anyone else trying to drive through or in or around here even. And then toss in some four-wheeler action. And by golly, Rouse's Markets phone line, 766-9480. I think there's a pretty good chance, I don't know, 70-30, 80-20, just my opinion, that Willie Fritz will be leaving Tulane and going to Georgia Tech. Maybe the announcement coming after the AAC Championship game at Yulman this weekend. Hopefully that Tulane wins, gets to 11-2, and goes to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. That is unreal. That's crazy. Willie Fritz. Hopefully in an hour, live on this very radio program, we'll be talking with Willie Fritz in an hour. Find out what's going on with his team as they prepare for the AAC title game on Saturday against Central Florida. And also, potential big bowl game, and Willie Fritz stay or Willie go? There's a positive if you're a Green Wave fan. I don't think things at Georgia Tech are like 100%, like everyone's on board. There's not a dissenting voice. It is 100% Willie Fritz. All boosters, all influencers, all Georgia Tech people are on board. I think there's a lot of that, but I do think there's some folks, let's keep the interim coach. There's some folks, let's go get another coach. There's some folks that are like, we don't want Willie Fritz. So I don't think it is a total consensus. Now, I don't think it's chaos or craziness either. This is a true story. I was interviewing Steve Spurrier in the parking lot right outside of a Senior Bowl venue in Mobile, Alabama, probably 20 years ago. I mean, you could look it up. Might be longer than 20 years ago. He was about to take on the Washington Redskins job, leaving Florida to go to the Redskins. Well, it worked in college. Why wouldn't it work in the NFL? Talking about his offense, all that kind of stuff. And I think it was, I might have asked him something about LSU job, and he said something, and then when I ended the interview, he elaborated more. I think it was an off-the-air comment. But he said that he was at Duke, and he was in Baton Rouge. And, I mean, I remember him getting into details. I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, they took me to like a Ruth's Chris steakhouse right on the interstate. I'm like, all right. And he goes, I'm with these boosters, and like maybe one person from the athletic department. They're like, you're our guy. You're the guy. We're going to hire you. And they're taking me to this Ruth's Chris, and I'm probably going to take the LSU job. And they're assuring me I'm their guy. There's no one else. It's just me. I walk in that Ruth's Chris, and former Cleveland Browns coach Sam Rutigliano's sitting in the corner with a bunch of similar LSU boosters and alums around him. And Spurrier was like, yeah, I'm your only guy, huh? Right then and there, that like soured him on the LSU job. Just the like, he felt they were kind of lying, or he was maybe a second or third choice, and maybe kind of over the hill Sam Rutigliano, a NFL coach, could come in and coach college and go recruit. He's older, and where did that come from? And all, just so it made him weary of LSU in general, probably rightfully so. I mean, I think you win at LSU, you can be Saban or Les Miles, and you can control everything. If you're still kind of, I think Kelly right now is starting to get more control as things go on. But if you're not that control coach, the politics at LSU, the insane boosters, I gave millions to the program. You bet I got an opinion, and you're going to listen to that opinion. You're going to implement that opinion. It's obnoxious. And what do you do for a living again? You want me to hire that guy as coach? I mean, that's where you get, no offense. I love Doug Morrow, the former player, the former great, the color analyst on the radio. He almost was AD. Like, let's make him AD. It's because you had some boosters that wanted him as AD. Good guy. He loves LSU. Okay, and how does that make him qualified for the gig in this era? Maybe 1975, not in 95, whenever it was. And I love Doug Morrow, the former district attorney in East Baton Rouge. This guy's smart. He's talented. Might be able to pull the gig off. It's not on his resume. I mean, just insane stuff like that. So political. And just crazy stuff happens. No, you want that stuff put to the side. I think at Georgia Tech, you've got a little bit of that ugly, kind of nasty political thing, and boosters with money. And I've got an opinion. You're going to hear it, and you're going to implement it, or you don't get the new gymnasium, or whatever. I think it's probably, I'm trying to be, I almost want to say like 90-10. I just don't know what keeps Willie Fritz. I think he loves New Orleans. That might be it. Tulane pays him this year with incentives. He'll make about $2.5 million. I'm sure they're ready to give him another $1 million a year or so. Keep up with the Joneses. There's a lot of positives. He's got this program rolling now. He's 63 years old, 62, 63 years old. He retired, do this gig, making $3.5 million a year, maybe close to $4 million a year if he hits 10 games and stuff like that and goes to a Cotton Bowl, those type of future incentives. And almost hard to get fired. Would really have to just stop working and have a few bad seasons in a row. You go to Georgia Tech and you have a few bad seasons in a row. You have a 2-10 like last year, you're probably fired. Just a different deal. But also you're Power 5. You're in Atlanta. You're Georgia Tech. ACC, not AAC. It's just different. It's Willie Fritz's last hurrah, bigger salary. Probably going to get $4.5 million right off the bat. Probably more than Tulane would give him if he hits incentives. And to start without the incentives, win 10 games, we go play for an ACC title, you might make $5-6 million. NIL money, more of that. It just depends on what Willie Fritz is thinking. But, Tulane fans, you just got to be like, man, it's a blessing this guy's here. Glad he came. Hope he stays. If he doesn't, thank you, coach. You're a class act. Love you. Best of luck in Atlanta. And then hopefully Troy Dannon goes and gets another winner. Hopefully he doesn't have to and Willie Fritz stays, but stay classy. And, Willie Fritz is great for Tulane, great for New Orleans. We're going to hook up with the coach in about 45 minutes on the program. Willie Fritz, Green Wave fans. That transfer portal next week. Georgia Tech wants to get this done quickly. Tulane wants to get it done. We'll see. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NolaAC.com, your cool spot.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30. And they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home. For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockandalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Have a painting project but can't decide on the perfect color? At Helm Paint and Decorating, we offer half-pint paint samples in any Benjamin Moore color for under $5, so you can test potential paint colors before investing in a full gallon.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Recently, Kim Kardashian was seen at Super Discount Store in Chalmette.
Let's party.
Can you think of any other celebrities that won't sue us? Super Discount Store in Chalmette. The lowest prices allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and cold beer. 3235 Paris Road.
You're listening to The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. What's wrong with you?
I immediately regret this decision.
Every weekday afternoon on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333 from 4 p.m. to 5:30.
We're heading to the North Shore, Trey Yen country. Chris joins us on the program. What up, Chris?
Hey, Corey.
How are you?
Just discovered you on YouTube, man.
Nice.
Or rediscovered you, so to speak.
Nice. Glad you did. Yeah, we're there. If you go to CoreyTalks.com, it has radio and television destinations as well, Chris.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, listen, I totally can relate in so many ways to what you're saying about, quote, say, Bourbon Street, right? And I just you could talk about so much about the terrible street. It wasn't terrible back in the 30s, by the way. It wasn't Disneyland, but it is the 70s. When people talk about, well, you can't change the culture of Bourbon Street, they're talking about what? The 70s culture? When strip joints and horrible daiquiri shops. And so anyway, there is the Bourbon Street should be reimagined like they did Times Square, which was worse than Bourbon Street at one time. And when Rudy Giuliani got in there, basically got rid of all the strip joints, all the sex shops, you name it.
No, you get rid of all that. You don't bring in Olive Garden and TGI Friday to the quarter, but you get rid of all the negative like they did at Times Square, no doubt.
Exactly. And, just a quick story. We went down to Bourbon Street. This is about a month ago. Don't really go, I say Bourbon Street, the quarter. We don't really go down there that often, because we went down there. We went to hear some music. We went to, actually, they got a pretty good jazz band at the Crescent City Brewery. Listen to there. And then we went to the 21st Amendment, I think it's called. Do you know where that is?
Yes.
It's in the quarter. It's a music place. It's right across, right near Felix and Acme, right?
All right.
That street. And then I think it's the Bourbon House restaurant on the corner of Bourbon.
Iberville.
Beautiful place, right?
Yep.
We ate at Felix, had a nice meal.
Yeah, it's Bourbon and Iberville right there. Yep.
There you go. We go to 21st Amendment, and Mashia Lake is playing, which I don't think she plays that much, but she's fantastic. You know, the place this was like 4 in the afternoon. The place is full. So we sat out in the street and listened to her because we couldn't really get in easily. So, it's great. All of a sudden, in front of Felix, we hear this car running with not the best muffler in the world, and it's just causing problems with the sound, and you could smell the fumes too. And in between kind of sets or whatever, Mashia Lake actually came out and says, "What is going on out here?" I said, "I don't know. They got this car just running." I said, "I'll tell you what, I'm going to go over and find out what's going on." It's right in front of Felix, right? So I go in Felix, talk to one of the guys, said, "Man, what's up with this truck?" He goes out, said, "Man, I don't know." And that was it. He walked away and said, "Man, all you people are breathing fumes, listening to this loud ass." What it was is they had a guy set up on Bourbon in Iberville with a tent. Sort of, he was an actual musician, but he was not there. Like, he just set it up, you know, and he had a cable running from his vehicle to his tent, and he was running his amplified music off of this, you know, cord that was running from his car. And I think what happened was, you know, he I guess every now and then he probably sat there for hours and played for people on the street, and he had to turn on the car every now and then so his battery doesn't go dead. So I go in the Bourbon House and I asked the guy, I said, "Man, is this your guy out here?" He said, "This guy, you know, Burry's a nice place, tall, this fairly elegant looking black guy." He looked at me like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And he said, "This guy plays up and down the street, does the same crap." Finally, he kind of, in between sets, I asked the guy, I said, "Man, listen, could you turn your vehicle off?" It had been on for like 20 30
Impossible. It turns off all his power. He looked at you like you were crazy.
No, actually, what it was, because it only started up. We were out there. I actually saw him. He wasn't like the worst musician on Bourbon Street, but he wasn't that good. And no, what happened was he ran it off his battery. And my guess is every half hour or so, he's got to go turn on the truck and run it for a while so his battery doesn't go dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just whatever. It's a nightmare. It's a loud.
Exactly.
This car is so crappy and stinking up. No one's going to carjack that vehicle. No, that's the kind of stuff that drives normal people away from the quarter. That's the exact kind of stuff. No one wants to smell that, hear that, deal with that joker, you know? That's the problem.
Hey, you know what? And just one final comment. Let me tell you, I have some relatives in Charleston. That won't happen in Charleston. Go there. You can, this is an exaggeration, you can eat off the streets. Some musician pulls up just to put an amplifier.
No, Chris, and that's a really good example because Charleston has a similar demographics, similar economy. You know, so there's a lot of bad parts of town. There are a lot of folks struggling. But, yeah, where the tourists are, where the money is made that keeps the city afloat, they make sure that's right. No, same thing with, like, Savannah. You've got to go find the crusty part of town at those places. In New Orleans, it is on full-blown display on a street like even Bourbon. Hey, Chris, on the North Shore, I'm glad you found us on YouTube.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
Yeah, you're right. Chris finding us on YouTube. Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground. CoreyTalks.com, our website. You can find out where we are on the radio, where we are on television. When it's weather like today, you could have knocked out a painting chore. When it rains, that's when you go to the physical helm paint and decorating location. You talk to the pros. I like the Earhart location. There are another half dozen locations, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore. There's a Helm location near you. On the rainy days when you can't paint, that's when you go to Helm. Pick out your paint colors, pick up your supplies, get everything you need to do the job once and to do it right. Benjamin Moore products. I just painted my house and I'll never paint it again. I use that Regal Select line of Benjamin Moore paint. Lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Decorating. When you got to paint in New Orleans, do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. What's that, Blue Boy? I'm a Basset Hound, and I even know you go to Helm Paint and Decorating. Of course, Blue Boy. What else? 5 o'clock power hour. Brett Martel will join us. And Willie Fritz, Tulane head football coach. Don't move.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Where can you find shish kebab in New Orleans? Lamb, beef, chicken, shrimp, plus all your other Mediterranean favorites. Lebanon's Cafe on the streetcar line. Lunch, dinner, and shish kebab. Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
If you or a loved one are suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metier.
I feel personally, when I walk around on the grounds, that it's sacred ground. It's healing. Just the environment is healing. Just being here makes one feel like that, I can let go. I can let go of the worry. I can let go of the stress that I've been carrying around for a long time. We don't shame anybody. We don't blame anybody. We don't judge anyone. Just that alone really is the foundation on which everything else that we do is done.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 504-291-4000.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
504-291-4000. 291-4000. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. When you think of Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, you think about their daily lunch specials like red beans and rice, black-eyed peas, white butter beans, liver and onions. Daily lunch specials. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yes. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson will not be heard or seen this afternoon. Instead of the 5 o'clock pow-wow, we go back 40 years in time. The 1980s and reruns of Dallas. Here's Bobby, Jock, Sue Ellen, and of course J.R. Ewing, and a whole other group of lunatics. It's Dallas. Where's Drew Brees when you need him? Let's go to La Jolla. Mr. Drew Brees. Yeah, you right, Mr. Drew Brees. Thank you for that introduction. Each and every afternoon. It is the 5 o'clock powwow. You are on the Neutral Ground. It's going to be an interesting Martel Monday. Brett Martel is going to join us in about 60 seconds from the Associated Press. Will he stay or will he go? Willie Fritz stay or will he go? Tulane head football coach, 18th ranked Tulane, 10-2, hosting the American Athletic Conference Championship game. Are you kidding me? 10-2, top 20 in the land. Tulane hosting the American Athletic Championship game. That is a 3 o'clock kickoff. UCF, Central Florida, coming to Yeoman. That game, like last week's game with Cincinnati, that game will be on ABC, another nationwide television audience. Willie Fritz will join us in about 30 minutes on the program. Oh, so fine, 93.9 FM. Hey, TV viewers, we are done each day at 5:30. But if you go to YouTube, you can check us out on our YouTube channel, Corey Johnson, Neutral Ground, or go to CoreyTalks.com and you can link up that way. Corey spelled Kaare. A lot to discuss. French President Emmanuel Macron arriving this Friday in New Orleans, coming to visit the Crescent City. Yeah, you right. Another Bourbon Street shooting. It was Sunday, 2 a.m. That first block, second block of Bourbon, Iberville and Bourbon, a block off Canal Street. 3 men, 2 women shot. Reimagine Bourbon Street already. Boy, you throw in Thanksgiving weekend Bayou Classic, 4-wheeler city. It was obnoxious. 4-wheelers everywhere in New Orleans. This is simple. Catch the 4-wheeler, arrest the rider of the 4-wheeler, put them in jail. Confiscate, seize the 4-wheeler and auction it off and sell it. End of story. No 4-wheelers allowed in the city. It's insanity. Doesn't happen in other parishes, other counties in America. It's a New Orleans specialty. Willie Fritz, about 30 minutes away on the program. Brett Martel, another Martel Monday, joins us live right now. Brett's been with the Associated Press for over a quarter century now. Over a quarter century, Brett. You're getting old.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it.
Yep. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a busy day today up in Baton Rouge around lunchtime and out in Metairie for Dennis Allen's review of Sunday's game.
Dealing with the folks that pulled the old L over the weekend. Brian Kelly and LSU kind of playing a bad game. It just, you almost look back and go, man, it seemed inevitable because Brian Kelly he's like Midas this year, Brett. Everything he touches turns to gold. He's like, probably exceeded expectations in about 3 or 4 different ways, beating Alabama,
top 10 team, double-digit wins. Well, not yet. That kind of thing. Just really doing incredible stuff. SEC West champs playing for the SEC Championship Saturday, but laying an egg at Texas A&M to end the season. That was A&M's bowl game.
Yeah, it was, and I think Kelly really tried to warn his players of that, and just felt that for whatever reason they came out a little flat. They weren't as focused or as dialed in as they had been for some pretty big wins this season in games in which they were not favored. I mean, you had a top 10 win. Ole Miss was a top 10 at the time. They beat them, ran them out of Tiger Stadium. Mississippi State was ranked ahead of them at the time they ran them out of Tiger Stadium in the second half, and of course the huge win over Alabama. They got some good wins on the road this year at Auburn and Arkansas.
Yep.
So yeah, they've had overall a very, very memorable season, particularly where they started. Kelly said that his players are clearly upset about how they played on Saturday and determined to put forth a better effort, in the SEC title game against Georgia. But whether that's going to be enough against number one Georgia, is another story.
Yeah, Georgia probably can win or lose, and they're still in the playoff. Does LSU have a chance against mighty Georgia Saturday?
I mean, I would give LSU as much of a chance as anyone might have given Texas A&M last Saturday. I mean, LSU is number 5. Think about this: they're number 6 in the country, number 5 in the college football playoff standings. They go into 4 and 7, unranked Texas A&M, and they lose by more than, by 2 touchdowns, basically. Now, I will say, LSU, that's a weird game because they come out in the second half, they score, they get a defensive stop, they get the ball back in a tie game, and you think that LSU is about to take control of the game.
Yeah, that fumble.
And then there's that inexplicable fumble.
Yeah, good defensive play,
Yeah, it was a good defensive play. They fooled Daniels into making the wrong read.
Yeah, no, if you get Emery running it, it's probably like a 20-yard gain on that play.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, real quick, shifting gears. You covered LSU in Baton Rouge. You covered the Saints on Airline Drive today. Couldn't put a point on the board. That was a tough loss. What's crazy is if the Saints would have pulled off the win, they'd be tied for the lead in the division right now. It's nutty.
Yeah,
they're a game back.
Behind, technically, they'd be a half game behind, but they would have an opportunity next week to be a half game ahead. As it is, however, it's weird because Dennis Allen said today, and I asked him about this. He said, I don't think we can really afford to pay attention to the standings. The standings say that if the Saints win on Monday night in Tampa Bay, they will be 1 half game out of first place with 4 games still to play.
Crazy.
And a lot of teams will take that, but that fact, while technically accurate, is not necessarily representative of the product that the Saints have put on the field.
Plus, you got to win the division, go to the playoffs, and you're going to be like 7-10, 8-9, something like that.
Right. I mean, realistically, they'd probably end up getting in around 8 and 9. I mean, unless they rattle off 5 wins to get to 9 and 8. But yeah, I do think 8 and 9 or 9 and 8 will be good enough to win this division.
Crazy.
And losing, it wouldn't be unprecedented for a losing team to get in the playoffs. It's happened before.
Yeah.
None of those teams that I can remember ever made the Super Bowl, though.
Hey, Brett, the big story of the day, not in Baton Rouge, not on Airline Drive, on Willow Street, Ben Weiner Drive. Will he stay or will he go? Willie Fritz bringing Tulane to unprecedented heights. I mean, some of the best Tulane football we've seen in a long time. You got to go back to 98. You got to go back to like the 40s. 10 wins. They're 18th ranked. They're hosting a AAC title game. They win it. They go to the Cotton Bowl. They'd be 11-2, probably ranked around 14th or 15th in the country. Just unbelievable. With all that said, it appears Georgia Tech has come calling for Willie Fritz. He reportedly met with them. There's some folks, I think, with boosters at Georgia Tech that maybe don't know what they want to do. But I think Willie Fritz is their target. I think about an 80-90% chance he goes. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, there's definitely a chance he goes. I mean, the last time Tulane had a season this good was obviously Tommy Bowden, 12-0, 98, and he was gone right after that season. Gone to Clemson?
Yep.
But yeah. So, when a coach does this well at Tulane, they automatically become a candidate for a bigger program. So it's very normal for teams to be pursuing Willie Fritz. It's just a matter of, is he going to hold out for the right opportunity, or is he just going to take any Power 5 opportunity? To me, I mean, maybe he loves Atlanta, although I think he's from Kansas. To me, Georgia Tech is more like any opportunity. I mean, you're looking at a team that struggles a lot.
No, you're right. They don't have a great pedigree of winning, but you're in Atlanta. You could really you're at Power 5. You're going to make $4 or $5 million a year. Anyway, I think it's a better chance he goes and stays. I hope I'm wrong. Hey, Brett, how can folks check out your stuff that you're writing for the AP?
Yeah, apnews.com on a laptop or the AP News app on a smartphone. That's a free app. It gives you news from all over the world.
Hey, Brett, we got to run. Quick word. Stays or goes?
Probably goes, but there's definitely some wisdom to staying if he has an opportunity to reconsider.
Yeah, no, I hope he does. Corey Johnson with You Don't Move.
Super discount store in Chalmette.
3235 Paris Road.
The lowest price allowed by Louisiana law on wine, alcohol, and beer.
Worth the drive from anywhere.
If you're throwing a party and need wine, alcohol, and cold beer, super discount store in Chalmette.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port Nola has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
For over 30 years, one of the premier security companies in New Orleans and South Louisiana has been Tommy's Lock and Alarms. And right now, Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring. Come and work for one of the best security companies in the region with great pay, great benefits, and a take-home vehicle. Tommy's Lock and Alarms is hiring, and they're looking for you. To apply for one of these coveted positions, go online to tommyslockанdalarms.com. Tommy's Lock and Alarms.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamarck team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamarck Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Come to Fausto's Italian Bistro. Age-old Italian recipes like the calamari fritti or spaghetti and meatballs. Lunch Monday to Friday, dinner Monday to Saturday. 530 Vets a block before Dorignax. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The official afternoon talk show of the city of New Orleans. It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
You can say anything you please about me, but don't say anything bad about Blue Boy.
Down, Blue Boy. Good, buddy. That's very accurate. I'll take all the criticism. Blue Boy is off limits. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 504-766-9480. 504-766-9480. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines. Holla if you'd like. In about 15 minutes, their practice will wind down in about 10, maybe 15, 18 minutes from now, around 5:35, 5:40. Willie Fritz, Tulane head football coach, expected to join us live on the program. Find out what's going on with the 18th ranked 10-2 Wave as they prepare for Central Florida. That game is at Yeoman Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff, ABC. The winner, at least Tulane wins. They're probably heading to the Cotton Bowl, 11-2. Probably be ranked top 15 in the land at 11-2. Thank you, Willie Fritz. Will he stay or will he go? I can tell you this, Green Wave fans, and it's social media. I've said this in the past. It's like a kazoo. Anyone can play. Brings out a lot of ugly and unqualified folks with unqualified opinions. Folks that lack empathy or understanding, just emotional and just spouting off. Anyone from Tulane that says they're a Green Wave fan, you're going to be upset with Willie Fritz if he leaves. You blame him. He's doing something wrong. You're the problem. Willie Fritz, Tulane, New Orleans. We're indebted to this guy. He's taken Tulane from just a terrible football program about every 9 out of 10 years, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5, a losing program. Turned them into a winning program, a legitimate college program on ESPN, on national television, nationally ranked. It's got to help just Tulane on the map, like publicity and enrollment. And if you can ever sustain it, like do what's going on now, maybe you put 20,000 plus at Yeoman every week and you get something going. Still haven't been able to crack through to the city of New Orleans and have folks realize this is a pretty good entertainment opportunity at a really good price point, especially for mom and dad and the kids. Anyway, enough all that. Willie Fritz has Tulane in the American Athletic Conference championship game. First championship game in Tulane football history, and they're hosting it uptown. And it's a revenge game playing Central Florida, a team they lost to a few weeks ago. I mean, I would guess, I'm not sure. I don't know what the line is in this game. I would guess the Wave is favored in this game since it's at Tulane and they're kind of on a little win streak, got a little confidence going. Anyway, if you ask me, I think Willie Fritz is going to be the next Georgia Tech head football coach, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's not decided. I'm hoping that Tulane boosters and AD, Troy Dannon, and I'm sure they are doing everything in their power to keep this guy as a winner. It's great for Tulane. Hopefully, Willie Fritz is different. Man, I really like New Orleans. Tulane's going to give me another $1 million a year. They're going to give more money to my assistants. Going to come up with money for enhance this facility. Do this, do that. I'm happy to stay here. Willie Fritz is like 62, 63. Yeah, one side you can be like, man, just ride it out at Tulane. Almost after this season, you're guaranteed to keep the gig for a few more years. You do a 2-10 at Georgia Tech, even with a hurricane, you're probably fired. Just a different animal.
I'd say about a 70-30 that he leaves, 80-20 chance. Just my guess. ACC, Georgia Tech, Atlanta, Power 5, major program, major conference, his last hurrah, last major deal. With incentives, he'll hit about $2.5 million this year with Tulane. Makes about $1.9, $2 million in salary alone. With incentives, about another $500,000 or so, especially if he makes that Cotton Bowl. Might make like $2.5 million. Wave will probably come up like $1 million, probably be making like $3.5 million with incentives, maybe $4 million. Georgia Tech's probably offering him about $4.5, $5 million right away to start. Right away to start. And incentives. And then more NIL money and opportunities. In Atlanta, a richer city, Georgia Tech, a richer university, bigger endowment, all of that. But we don't know how Willie Fritz thinks and what his family's thinking and his love for New Orleans and Tulane. But he has a history. He doesn't use programs as a stepping stone. I don't think that's fair to say, even when he's been to like 5 different ones. But he stayed for long stretches at different ones. Tulane fans, if he stays, great. If he goes, totally understandable, and you thank him sincerely and you wish him good fortune sincerely. No bitterness, no ugliness, made the wrong decision, what's he doing, all of that. That's just defeatist and wrong. Tulane fans, Willie Fritz doesn't owe Tulane or New Orleans anything. Hopefully he stays. That would be great. That'd be lanyap. That'd be gravy. Georgia Tech, a bigger fish in the ponds come a-calling. I hope there's some dysfunction there. They got a little LSU flavor going on. You got some boosters, they want to keep the interim coach that's there right now. You got some boosters, they want to go after another coach that might be available. And then you got some that just don't want Willie Fritz. Barely has a winning record, not that. Doesn't have a winning record at Tulane is what they'd say. Yeah, built the program. I mean, when Willie Fritz took over Tulane, it was at rock bottom. A terrible football program. 2, 3, 4 wins. 4 wins like a great year. That's like year in, year out. So Willie Fritz has built this from ground zero. It is all him. It's all Willie Fritz. It's his program, his system, everything Willie Fritz. He's going to join us live in less than 10 minutes on the program. We'll find out about his team, the AAC title game against Central Florida coming up Saturday at, I believe, sold out Yeoman. I think it's sold out now. I think they've sold 28,000 tickets. Standing room only will be about 30,000 there. I think that's the deal. I think that is sold out. Anyway, we'll find out all about that and also Georgia Tech in just a few minutes. Juiced up Jimmy in Lafayette. Another photo of me on his television said it's frightening. I should post this. Look, it's like his TV from the den. Fruitcake going for the Buddy Holly look. That's what he said. Thank you for the email. Juiced up Jimmy. Too many steroids. Fruitcake going for the Buddy Holly look. Hey, how you doing? I'm going for the Buddy Holly look. What Juiced Up Jimmy in Lafayette is talking about, these glasses, I'm guessing, that I got from Art and Eyes on magazine. As fine of a eyewear, eyeglasses shop you'll find anywhere. It's not some chain store. It's not something you find at the mall. It's not that Luxottica garbage from China. It's incredibly high quality from the acetates, whatever metals they're using, the frames, the lenses, all super high quality from the United States, from Europe, from Japan. The best in eyewear and stuff you'll find nowhere else. I can't stress it enough. If you wear glasses, Art and Eyes on magazine, you owe it to yourself if you wear glasses to at least check out Art and Eyes on magazine. I'll tell you what's going to happen. 1, you're going to be blown away. 2, you're going to pick up at least a pair of glasses there. Probably like me, prescription and sunglasses. Art and Eyes on magazine. Google M. Google M. Google them. Corey Johnson with you. Hey, TV audience, we are approaching straight down 5:30. That means adios until mañana. Juiced Up Jimmy checking us out on Cox Channel 4 in Lafayette. Glad to see you gone, buddy. Tomorrow, we'll see you then at 4 o'clock. Juiced Up Jimmy. The Buddy Holly look. I don't know what you're doing right now as far as air conditioning. Maybe running AC sometimes, maybe heat. I've run them both the same day. The same day, like heat in the morning and then in the afternoon. I'm like, man, it's kind of warm in here. And I had turned the system off by midday. Then I'm running air conditioning. River City's Total Maintenance is there for you. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. I keep it real simple with these pros. They're honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. Honest air conditioning and heating experts that come immediately. What more do you want in an air conditioning or heating outfit? Honest, incapable of ripping you off. Air conditioning and heating experts, they're not guessing. They diagnose it right away. And they come right away, come immediately. They know you want it fixed yesterday. NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. NOLAAC.com. Every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto River City's Total Maintenance Studios. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday. Another Bourbon Street shooting Sunday, 2 a.m., late Saturday night. Sunday morning, 2 a.m., 200 block, Bourbon and Iberville, roughly. Right off Canal Street, 3 men, 2 women shot in between the ages of 17 and 24. Bourbon Street is a toilet. It's long overdue we reimagine it. Hey, what is up with the four-wheelers in New Orleans? It is getting out of hand. You throw in a Thanksgiving weekend, a Bayou Classic weekend. By Xavier on Washington around Carrollton Avenue, up by Earhart in between Carrollton and Doc Francis Parkway, Claiborne's over by MLK, by Felicity, by Jackson Avenue. Out of control. And then throw in the four-wheelers, insanely out of control and insanely dangerous. Someone's going to die on a four-wheeler. Someone's going to bump them in traffic, run over them, fling them off the four-wheeler. They're going to go fly into a brick wall or something and die, and folks are going to freak out. Jimmy was a good guy. The driver shouldn't have done it. Doesn't matter. It's an accident, blah, 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 blah. What's crazy about these four-wheelers in New Orleans, it's not like you think it's like 15, 16, 18-year-old kids. A lot of the time it's not. Go to my Twitter at Corey Johnson. I'm by that Popeyes on Gentilly and Paris Avenue. There's 2 four-wheelers in the parking lot. This dude's sitting on one of them's empty. A woman walks out with a couple of bags of Popeyes, jumps on the other four-wheeler. They tool down Gentilly Boulevard. No helmets, no blinkers, no taillights, no license plate. Totally illegal. Just tooling around. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, whatever. They're like 40, 50 years old. They weren't like 20, 18, 16, like kids that are dopey and don't know any better. And that's no excuse. They know better. No, it's full-blown adults. I'm by Carrollton and Claiborne's, the old Palmer Park. Dude sitting under a tree, I guess, catching some shade on his four-wheeler, about 50-year-old man. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Throw in Thanksgiving and a Bayou Classic weekend. And it was insane with the four-wheelers. No, it's real simple. Four-wheelers are illegal in New Orleans. We catch you, we're going to arrest you. And we're going to seize your four-wheeler and sell it, auction it off. It's that simple. Gonna catch you, gonna arrest you, and then seize your four-wheeler and sell it off. God, I don't get it. No four-wheelers going on in other parishes or counties in America. Insane. It's a New Orleans thing. THANG. Hey, Fury's Restaurant, open right now, open till 9 p.m. Depending on how many are at your table, start with a small or large order of onion rings for everybody. And then get yourself a cup of turtle or gumbo, turtle soup or seafood gumbo. It's all fresh local seafood like the snapper or the speckled trout or the flounder. It's Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, open till 9 p.m. You will not be disappointed. Let me put it to you this way. I would bet the place you go to, local or not, mom or pop or not, they're serving stuff that's frozen or even from out of state or out of the country. Could be pasteurized crab meat from China. It might be crawfish from South America. It might be catfish from another state. Tilapia instead of trout. Never, ever, ever at Fury's. Local fresh seafood. Fury's Restaurant in Metairie, open till 9 p.m. Yeah, you right. Hey, that new driving range plan has been announced. I play golf. I'm excited about this, but forget about that. And I talk about Bass Pro Shop. I wish that would be at the Six Flags site. I don't hunt or fish. I go in the Bass Pro Shop like I'd go to Buc-ee's. One time to check it out and never go back again, probably. But I'd like to see it because I know a Buc-ee's or a Bass Pro Shop or even like a Flying J truck stop would be viable out there. So it doesn't matter if you play golf or not. That driving range, that triple-decker driving range, you can see one in Baton Rouge right on the interstate. It's called Drive Shack. It's pretty incredible. It's 3 stories, and it's not just for golfers or people that play golf. There's like a restaurant on every floor. There's a bar on every floor. It's like a sports bar restaurant with a driving range and golf games for people to play that play golf and golf games for people to play that are beginners that have never picked up a club. It's just a fun environment. Drive Shack was planning on building there. They had already broke ground and started. Drive Shack, a top golf competitor. Triple-decker driving range, same concept. Just like Baton Rouge. Drive Shack they might have 3 or 4 locations. Top Golf has like 40 or 50. Top Golf's still going. Drive Shack kind of changed what they do. They're not into the triple-decker driving range. Anyway, they abandoned that site. A group of investors have purchased that site. They like the triple-decker driving range sports bar restaurant idea, and that's what they're going to develop there. So they're taking over that site. They've already purchased it, agreed to purchase it from Joe Yeager and his group. And that old Times-Picayune site, which is literally on I-10, but specifically, I guess, Howard Avenue at Broad. Would that be right? Howard Avenue at Broad? No, that's the Yet Center. What is it the corner of? I guess it's Howard Avenue, and it's pretty close to Broad. Howard Avenue. I guess that is Broad. I guess that isn't Broad. I can't even think what overpass that is right there. I want to say Broad. Isn't that the Broad Street? To the left would be that. Yeah, I guess it is Broad. The right side would be the other way. So it's Broad and Howard Avenue. Anyway, that old Times-Picayune site, torn down about, I don't know, I'm guessing about 20% of the Drive Shack was built and abandoned. It's steel and cinder blocks. I don't think it's tear down. I think it's continue building that. Get some architect, get the designs from the old Drive Shack folks, do whatever. And that's good news. That light industrial area has a chance to be something. They already got some like artist lofts and the like in there, but it's a little rough right by Bridge House. But that's good news. I'd like to see that happen. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning. You can find them at youngsdrycleaning.com, a New Orleans institution since 1940. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations, youngsdrycleaning.com. They've got one right across the street from Tulane, a walk-up location. Speaking of Tulane, when we return, Tulane head football coach Willie Fritz joins us on the neutral ground. Don't move.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NoAC.com, your cool spot.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, the premier day spa experience, is now more convenient than ever. Now open, the Woodhouse Day Spa, Metairie location, West Esplanade at Transcontinental. Metairie and Kenner's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
At Home Paint and Decorating, our paints are in it for the long haul. In fact, our top Benchmore exterior paints come with a lifetime warranty. Not 25 years, not 50 years, we mean forever. You heard right. At Helm Paint, our top exterior paints have a lifetime warranty against chipping, peeling, and flaking. They also are mildew resistant. Imagine painting your home one time and being done with it. Visit any one of our locations today and make that once-in-a-lifetime purchase. Paint that has a lifetime warranty. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
When you think of Fury's restaurant in Metairie, you think about the freshest local seafood anywhere. Shrimp, oysters, speckled trout, flounder, snapper, soft shells, crawfish. Fury's restaurant in Metairie. Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right, Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
If you love Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City, you're going to love Bienvenue in Harahan. The same folks bringing a little of that New Orleans flavor to Hickory Avenue. If you love Katie's, come to Bienvenue on Hickory Avenue in Harahan. For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With high-definition night vision surveillance systems, letting you see what's going on. Home surveillance that's smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them. Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home. New Orleans style talk gumbo, served daily.
You must have had the jumbo.
It's Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Jumbo?
Sorry, I mean the gumbo liar.
Welcome back, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson with you on a Monday afternoon. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the 18th ranked team in the land. 10-2 Tulane Green Wave. I think I can count on one hand and still have a finger or two left over how many times the Tulane Green Wave football team in their history since 1893 has won 10 games or more. They are hosting their first conference championship game in the history of Tulane football. The guy at the controls for the last several years joins us, head coach Willie Fritz. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
I appreciate you joining us. It's fun, huh, Coach?
Yeah, it is. It's Coach has done a fantastic job of putting together game plans, but it doesn't mean anything if the student athletes don't go out and execute it. And they've just really done it week after week after week, and they're fired up. Normally, I get on different radio and TV shows, and I'm trying to talk people into coming to the ball game, but we got a sellout already. So
that's awesome.
And that's great, and to be able to watch it on ABC at 3:00.
That's awesome too. ABC, national television audience. Besides the winning, Coach, I mean, ESPN, ESPN2, ABC, nationally televised games. There was none of that at Tulane before Willie Fritz. None of that.
Well, it's just we're playing a great league, and we've had some success. We've come closer. The 3 years we played in bowl games in a row to really breaking through and having some great seasons. Last year we kind of got out of sorts with everything with Ida and all those things, but Tulane's a great university, and we want to be able to showcase it athletically too, and let people know about us here in New Orleans.
Coach, you've been at it as a head coach for like north of 25 years. And obviously you're a proven winner at multiple programs. How do you keep that focus? How do you not look at the scorecard like Corey Johnson when I'm like 4 over and I hit hole 15 and then I double in and shoot 83 instead of 76? How do you not look at the scorecard? Y'all are 10-2. You're 18th ranked. How do you not? Oh, good. This is a good year. How do you not enjoy it right now? How do you stay focused and know that it's not done yet? How do you do that?
Well, it's actually my 30th year as a head football coach.
Wow.
I've been doing it for a while, and our guys have just kind of taken to the slogan of 1-0 each week. They started talking about it after we got beat by Southern Miss. We, just had some untimely turnovers and didn't play as well as we wanted to. Give them credit. They got us, but that's what our guys have been talking about. Just 1-0 every week. And as soon as the game's over, we talk about 24-hour rule. You can either gloat or pout, for 24 hours, depending on the outcome of the ball game, and then you flush that one down the toilet and you move on. And it's two key components in playing well is one, preparation during the week. And I think we've done an excellent job.
Yep.
Preparation throughout the whole week, and that leads you all the way up to kickoff. Then you got to flip the switch and be able to focus, concentrate, play with emotion, and great effort, for about 3.5 hours. If you do that, you got a chance to win a bunch of ball games.
How do you keep that John Wooden mentality going? Last year, 2-10. Willie Fritz, what the hell? You got to get rid of him. He isn't the answer. This year, 10-2. Willie Fritz is the greatest coach ever. How do Wooden used to say, I don't let the, negatives get me down. I'm not fully responsible for that. And I don't let the highs go to my head. I'm not fully responsible to that. I'm paraphrasing the quote, obviously, but how do you do that? You've lived that the last 2 years, diametrically opposed seasons, 2-10 to 10-2.
I just feel like I'm very consistent. We have a very structured system. Probably every kid who's played for me would be able to say, all right, here's what we do on Monday. Here's what we do on Tuesday, Wednesday. They know the routine, and just coaching them every day and being consistent with that as well. God does something good, I'm the first one to tell him a fantastic job. He does something that wasn't right. We correct him as soon as we can. And, I think the consistency allows you to, coach the guys the way you want to day after day, week after week, month after month. And you're right, though. You can't all of a sudden think you're, you've heard the saying, things are never as good as they seem. Things are never as bad as they seem. Somewhere in the middle of reality lies, right? That's a Lou Holtz quote. So that's kind of true. So we just make sure that we're consistent day after day.
This 2022 Tulane team special, huh, Coach? I mean, you've got a really good defense that you can count on to make a team 1-2-3 punt in key situations when you need it. You can get that key stop and have confidence with that. And then you've got a solid O-line and something that not every college football team has, a really good college quarterback and a running back that the NFL's looking at.
Yeah, we've got a lot of veterans. I've got 19 guys who've already graduated.
Wow,
from Tulane.
that's awesome.
Either working on a second degree or working on a master's degree.
Take advantage of that.
I've got a lot of them. What's that?
Take advantage of that Tulane education.
Oh, yeah. Hey, why not? Why not? I told those guys, when I went to college, I wish I would have had another year or two. I started earning money, so why not do it? But we got a lot of veteran leadership, a lot of good experienced players. It's your team is so much better when it's player led, and it's hard to get that.
Yeah,
not everybody's born to lead people in their peer group, and we got a lot of the guys that do that, and it's comfortable for them to do that.
All right, Coach, unlike that Fletcher Mackle character who I have on my program every Friday, I have the decency to ask some questions first and not just jump right out the gate at that question everybody's talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of a change-up.
Yeah. The Georgia Tech job, that seems to be on everybody's mind. Reportedly, they've offered you the job. I guess the first report was you've taken the job. The second report is that's not true. Have you taken the Georgia Tech job? Are you taking the Georgia Tech job?
No, I haven't. And it's just, I guess it's flattering when people throw your name around with, different situations and scenarios and all those kind of different things. And I don't get into other people's business. That's not what I'm into. I just trying to do the very best job I can do here at Tulane. That's what I'm attempting to do every day.
That's one thing. I mean, I remember the Saints, they were terrible for 20 years. And then Finks and Mora came on board and assistant coaches get hired away and players they cut get picked up by other teams. I'd never experienced that. Success breeds success. When you win, other places start, calling out for you, I guess.
Well, I think the thing we're excited about is we've really been able to showcase our football program on a national stage. And, that hadn't been ranked in a long, long time. And we got, I think we were ranked one time a few years back, in my fourth year, we 25th in one of the polls for a week. And, it's just hard, it's, Tulane, you got to embrace both the academic and the athletic with our student athletes, and just really proud of the guys and what they accomplish on and off the field.
Yep. Yeah, the Stanfords, the Dukes, the Tulane, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech. It's not just athletics. There's a academic standard, and that's equal, if not exceeding, athletics, where a lot of programs it's the other way. Coach, can you pretty much unequivocally say you're not going to be at Georgia Tech and you're going to continue to be the Tulane head football coach?
Well, that's what I want to do. I'm really excited about the opportunity here, and I got a great athletic director to work for, and it took a little while for my family and I to get adjusted to New Orleans. I've been in all these small college towns, Huntsville, Texas, and Statesboro, Georgia, and places like that. But we really love New Orleans, and I was listening to your ad while I was on hold, and I love going over to Katie's, and I heard about that new restaurant over that they've got. It's like Katie's, so I'm going to check that out sometime soon.
Coach, I really appreciate you joining us. Saturday, that's as good as it gets. And do you even think like a revenge game? Does that motivate the team? You're like, this is just our opponent for this championship, Central Florida.
That's how I go about it. It's our opponent. What they do the first time we played them, what have they changed?
Yep.
What do we need to change? What was good? What was bad? They're going to do some new things in this ball game. We'll do some new things in the ball game as well. But all that stuff works about as long as it takes to run out of the tunnel.
Yep.
You got to get out there and you got to focus up and concentrate.
Slow that Parmley kid down. Jeez and Pete's. That's a college football player right there.
Yeah, he got great speed,
great
movement, and the first time we played him, he hurt us. They did a couple schemes that we weren't prepared for. Made the adjustment, did a better job of it in the second half, and I'm sure they'll come up with some new things. We just gotta always think about those what ifs.
Yeah, no, and you got a bunch of fast, great athletes yourself. Hey, Coach, you win. It could be Dallas in the Cotton Bowl. That's that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, really exciting. And but we got to go 1-0 this week. We got to play great, and you know, this is going to be a heck of a test for us. They came in here and beat us in our home place 38-31, and a few weeks back, and we're going to have to play great Saturday. We know that, but it's a challenge. But we love those challenges.
Well, Coach, I think I can speak for Green Wave fans and a lot of people in New Orleans. It's bigger than Tulane. You have been great for Tulane football. You've been great for the city of New Orleans. I don't think, you can make a bad decision. I hope you stay around, and I hope you're the Tulane football coach for years to come, because you've really been a welcome addition to the city, kind of an official New Orleanian that's embraced everything about the city, a great ambassador.
Well, I appreciate that. It's really nice of you. And we look forward to Saturday. Appreciate your coverage. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks, Coach.
You betcha. Roll Wave.
Roll Wave. That's Tulane head football coach Willie Fritz. A sold-out Yeoman Stadium for that American Athletic Conference title game. And not really anything definitive like I am definitely not going to Georgia Tech. I am definitely going to be the Tulane head football coach. Nothing like that. But I think the door's still kind of open. But I asked him a few times about the Georgia Tech job. Anyway, class act. Like I said before, if he stays, awesome. And if he goes, totally understandable, and thank him sincerely and wish him good fortune sincerely. Just 18th ranked, 10-2, hosting the conference championship game, win, and you go to the Cotton Bowl. It's pretty damn cool. I'm a creature of habit. Monday, red beans and rice at Fausto's. I was there. The weather was right. I ate outside. Outdoor dining tonight for dinner, or dine inside. Check out the Hornets. Check out the Pelicans. I say Hornets. Cheese and Pete's. Yeah, check out the Buccaneers. ABA. Check out the Pelicans as they take on, don't tell me, they're playing Oklahoma City. Check them out on the TV at Fausto's Italian Bistro. Some of the city's best Sicilian and Italian. They're open right now. Fausto's Italian Bistro.
For home surveillance, it's Tommy's Lock and Alarms. With smart home technology, control lights, locks, cameras, thermostat, and your alarm, all from your phone or laptop. Smart, safe, secure. Tommy's Lock and Alarms. Google them.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
The city's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa, with 4 area locations: New Orleans, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and Metairie. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. NOLA.woodhousespas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Thoughtful conversation, common sense. Corey Johnson.
With all due respect, Mr. Dennis, I had no idea you'd gotten experimental surgery to have your removed.
Live streaming at CoreyTalks.com.
What was that? Well, I said with all due respect.
Geneva Convention. Yeah, you right. Monday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. Pretty cool. Number 11 LSU, number 18 Tulane, both playing an extra game, both playing for their conference championships. How cool is that? That is as good as it gets. Tulane 10-2, LSU 9-3. Just had Tulane head football coach Willie Fritz on the program, always accommodating. Asked him about the Georgia Tech job. Nothing's changed for me. I still think it's about an 80-90% chance he takes that job. I hope I'm wrong. Not like evasive, but yeah, I'm the Tulane coach. Happy to be the Tulane coach. You can listen to it on YouTube. You can check out that interview on Anchor, iTunes, Spotify. It'll be coming your way in a second. You can hear it from Willie Fritz's mouth himself. No, I'd say after that. I mean, no, I'm definitely saying at Tulane, I'm not going to Georgia Tech. That was not said. I hope Willie Fritz stays because he's nothing but a winner for Tulane and the city. What's that, Blue Boy? You love you some Willie Fritz. All right, Blue Boy. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for watching and listening. Mañana, 93.9 FM, New Orleans. Corey Johnson with you. See you at 4 p.m. tomorrow.